What happens when a husband hires a young gardener to seduce his own wife so he can divorce her without paying? Today we're diving into a twisted tale of manipulation that asks, can genuine love grow from the seeds of deception, or does betrayal poison everything it touches? This is the story of Carol, a talented painter trapped in a loveless marriage who becomes the target of an elaborate scheme, only to discover that sometimes the person hired to break your heart ends up healing it instead. The film opens with a marriage that's already dead. Carol and William have been together for 15 years, but there's no intimacy, no affection, no connection.
William openly dismisses her, calls her a leech, mocks her hobbies, and refuses physical contact.
Carol's friend suggests she needs to reconnect, maybe even explore options outside her marriage. But Carol still believes in the sanctity of their vows.
She doesn't know that William has already moved on. He's having an affair with his secretary Lily, she's pregnant with his child, and he's plotting to get rid of Carol without losing his fortune in a divorce. Enter Arthur, a young gardener hired by William for a very specific purpose.
Seduce Carol, get photographic evidence of her cheating, and give William grounds to divorce her while keeping everything. William even offers $1 million, money Arthur desperately needs for his father's critical medical treatment.
It's a deal with the devil, prey on a lonely woman's vulnerability, destroy her reputation, also a wealthy man can discard his wife without consequences.
Arthur accepts, driven by desperation and the belief that he can compartmentalize the job from his feelings.
But Carol isn't what Arthur expected. She's not some shallow trophy wife. She's a gifted artist who gave up her career for marriage, a woman with depth and intelligence and quiet dignity despite years of emotional neglect.
She reminds him she's married, sets boundaries, refuses to be an easy target.
Her resistance isn't prudish, it's self-protective. She's been hurt enough by William, she's not about to compound that pain by betraying her own values. The guests watch in real time as William's carefully constructed image crumbles, his affair is exposed, his embezzlement revealed, his company's stock plummets, and he goes from powerful CEO to criminal defendant in a matter of minutes. What's particularly satisfying is how Carol weaponizes the very tools William tried to use against her. He installed surveillance to catch her cheating, she used it to document his crimes. He planned to humiliate her publicly, she turned his anniversary celebration into his public execution. He tried to leave her with nothing, she ensures he loses everything, his company, his reputation, his freedom. It's revenge served ice cold by a woman who spent years being underestimated. But the film doesn't end with revenge, it explores the aftermath, the complicated question of whether Carol can trust Arthur after he initially came into her life under false pretenses.
Narrator, VO. Arthur confesses everything, admits he was hired to seduce her, explains about his father's medical bills, and declares his genuine love. Arthur, I was hired to seduce you. I needed the money for my father's treatment. But I didn't mean to fall in love. I love you.
Carol is devastated. How can she trust feelings that started as a transaction? How does she separate what was real from what was performance? The pregnancy adds another layer of complexity. Carol discovers she's pregnant with Arthur's child, conceived during the one night they gave into their feelings. Now she faces a choice: raise the child alone as a single mother pursuing her art career, or give Arthur a chance to prove his love is genuine. The film shows her wrestling with this decision, not rushing into forgiveness. Making Arthur work to prove his commitment isn't just about the baby or guilt, but about genuinely loving her. Arthur's redemption arc is about learning what real love looks like. Initially he saw Carol as a target, then as a guilty obligation, finally as the woman he wants to build a life with. He accepts a subordinate role, carries her paintings, supports her career, deals with his own jealousy, maturely, and puts her needs ahead of his ego. He learns that love isn't about grand gestures or passionate declarations, it's about showing up consistently, respecting boundaries, and choosing someone's happiness over your own comfort. The film explores how women are devalued as they age, especially in relationships. William sees Carol as past her prime, worthless now that she's no longer the young beautiful artist he married. He literally calls her a trophy wife whose only value was decorative. Meanwhile, Arthur, 14 years younger, falls for Carol precisely because of who she's become through experience: thoughtful, resilient, talented, compassionate. The age gap that society sees as shameful becomes evidence that real attraction is about character, not just youth. Carol's return to the art world parallels her personal liberation. For years, William convinced her that her painting was just a hobby, a waste of time and space. But when she reclaims her identity as an artist, she wins prestigious awards, gets gallery representation, earns recognition. Her talent didn't disappear during her marriage, it was suppressed. William didn't want a wife with her own ambitions and achievements. He wanted someone dependent who'd make him look good. Carol's artistic success becomes proof that she never needed William, he needed her. The film also examines class and power dynamics. William uses his wealth as a weapon, hiring Arthur to do his dirty work, using money to control and manipulate Carol. But Carol fights back with intelligence and planning. She doesn't have William's resources, but she has integrity, creativity, and people who genuinely care about her. Arthur chooses Carol over the $1 million payout. Her art dealer champion supports her comeback. Her friends help expose William. Money doesn't guarantee loyalty. Character does. What's interesting is how the film handles the morality of Arthur's initial deception. Some viewers will never forgive him for accepting the job, for being willing to seduce a vulnerable woman for money. Others will see him as a victim of circumstance, a son desperate to save his father who made a terrible choice and genuinely fell in love. The film doesn't offer easy answers. It shows Arthur's guilt, his growing horror at what he's doing, and his ultimate choice to betray William and protect Carol even at personal cost. The surveillance footage becomes a recurring motif. William installs cameras to spy on Carol, to gather evidence for his scheme. But technology is neutral, it records truth regardless of who's watching. The cameras that were meant to trap Carol instead document William's crimes. It's a reminder that in trying to manufacture evidence of someone else's wrongdoing, we often expose our own. The truth has a way of emerging no matter how much we try to manipulate the narrative. Carol's journey is about reclaiming everything William tried to take from her: her identity as an artist, her financial independence, her sense of self-worth, her right to love and be loved authentically. She doesn't just survive William's betrayal, she thrives beyond it. The ending, with Carol achieving artistic recognition, pregnant with a child she chose to keep, with a partner who genuinely respects her, represents complete victory. She got everything William said she couldn't have. The proposal scene subverts traditional romance. Arthur doesn't propose because he got Carol pregnant or because he feels obligated. "I've learned what partnership actually means," Arthur says. He talks about standing behind her when she needs support and stepping back when she needs to soar. It's a mature understanding of love, not as possession or control, but as mutual respect and chosen commitment. Carol accepts not because she needs Arthur, but because she wants him as an equal partner. At its core, this is a story about the difference between being wanted and being valued. William wanted Carol as a decorative object, proof of his success and taste. He never valued her as a person with her own dreams and worth. Arthur initially wanted Carol as a means to an end, but learned to value her for who she actually is. The film suggests that real love requires seeing someone completely, not just what they can do for you, and choosing them anyway. Is it a perfect film? No. The revenge is perhaps too clean, the redemption may be too easy, but it taps into powerful fantasies, exposing a cheating spouse publicly, thriving after divorce, finding genuine love with someone who sees your worth when your partner didn't. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't destruction. It's building something beautiful from the ruins and showing everyone what they could have had if they'd just valued you properly. What did you think? Can love that starts with deception ever be trusted? Was Arthur's redemption earned, or was Carol too forgiving? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.